What's up? What's up, peoples? How are we doing today? We doing good? This was my favorite comment I have read this week. Phone hanging out the window for reception, showing up counts. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. That's dedication. That's what you need to succeed this Q4 right here. Sophie is setting an example for all of us. Wherever you're tuning in from, your living room, your car. We've had people watch the Coffee with ShineOns from their car on break. Some people, they like at work and they kind of excuse themselves and they watch from a stall. No shame in that. No shame in that. If you're watching this from a stall right now, welcome. Glad to have you here. Stephanie says, get that digital nomad lifestyle going on, Sophie. That's right. That's awesome. Marty from Tucson, welcome to the party. This is going to be a good one today. I've got Nate waiting in the wings. It's going to be awesome. What's up? How's it going? Seashell, Galena, welcome. Annette, what's up? Somebody else. Here we go. Dr. Aminata Kanu. I hope I said that right. Catching their first one live. Welcome. These are really cool. And you're really missing something if you don't join them live, particularly in the toast, which we will get to here in a little bit. Yeah. Jod Roebuck, what is up? Doing good? Sophie's the best. Good morning from Seattle. What's the weather doing in Seattle today? Huh? We had a little taste of fall here for like the last 2 weeks. We were totally teased, and now it's like 90 degrees again. Kind of sucks. Could be worse. 11 weeks until Black Friday. I've got to tell you, like one of my favorite days of the year is when I like go into, it's usually Costco. Usually I go into Costco to grab some groceries, and they have all their Christmas stuff out. And I'm like, it's here. It's time. People are going to start thinking about gifts. Sales are going to start increasing. It's like literally my favorite time of the year. Nats from Germany, what's up? Okay, how you doing? Michael, you're not on Instagram. No, not really. I have a personal Instagram account, but I've never really done much with it. We are going to be working on ShineOn's Instagram account soon. We've got kind of a whole process we're kicking off very soon on that. So excited. Good morning from Alabama. What's up, Craig? We were just in Huntsville 2 weeks ago, I think. It was pretty cool. Maryland. Oh, yeah. Maryland is gorgeous this morning. I bet you got like the fall leaves turning colors here. New Hampshire, Montreal. All right. Welcome, everybody. Excited to see you. Let me bring this up here. Whoops. See, I don't want that. I want this. There we go. So Nate is back. Nate Sliwinski. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably going to need some coaching on that here in a minute. Nate Sliwinski is back. So Nate has been absolutely crushing it this year. Just crushing it this year. He shared with me some numbers like before we joined the call. And I don't want to give away the numbers. That's kind of for Nate, but it's over 7 figures for sure. This year. So he's just absolutely crushing it. He's got a whole game plan going into Q4. He's no newbie to e-commerce or Q4. So we thought, hey, maybe it'd be cool. He comes back on and he shows us how to scale our first winners. We know we have a lot of new listeners here. And hitting your first winner and being able to scale it during Q4 is just a magical, magical thing. So we thought we'd have Nate on to give us some tips and tricks and, give us the deets on how he does it. So stay tuned for that. Got a few announcements. We'll roll through them really quick. Do me a favor, like this post. It tickles the algorithm, right? And it pushes the content up to the top of the feed, exposes it to more people. I like to pretend that I'm not a vain person, but it's not true. I like high view counts on these. I like likes and subscribes and all that kind of stuff. So please like the post. You're always great with the comments. The comments always drive engagement. So appreciate you on that. But the likes count too. So please hit those for me. I'd appreciate it. Let's go over a swag winner from last week. We have Giovanni. Giovanni is part of POD. This is the first time they're actually stepping into POD. It was just really neat for them to share our journey. They did this inside of Pod U, which was really cool, and talked about how they're partnering with their spouse on this. So it's just kind of neat. This can be a couple's business. We've had a number of people. Fram and Sheila are probably my favorite example of that. I don't know if they're on this live stream. It's usually pretty late for them, but Fram and Sheila do this together. It's like a business they run as a husband and wife team. And I just always think that that's really cool. So Giovanni, welcome. You've got some swag coming your way. Hopefully you're watching Coffee with ShineOn right now. Hopefully you're watching it. It's very important, especially if you're new. You never want to miss one. If you too would like to get some free swag, every week we're looking for people to make their first sale, sharing a milestone post, sharing tips and tricks, things like that. Drop them in the Facebook group or in Pod U. We're going to grab usually between 3 to 5 posts. And as Q4 gets here, it's going to start picking up really fast. And you have a chance to win some free swag. You can pop over to shineonmerch.com to see an example of some of the things that you can win. But we've got some really good stuff over there. My favorite thing is a ShineOn hoodie, and you'll see I'll be wearing it pretty much nonstop as soon as it gets cold enough here in Kansas City to do so. Okay, we've got some cool news. First of all, we're launching a product every single Friday between now and I think the end of October. I don't think it's just the month of September. I think we're taking it through the end of October. This is the first one. It's this 4-sided stick necklace you can engrave on all 4 sides. It comes in the white gold and the yellow gold, and we have options with and without message cards. Look, if you do any, if you use any like product research tools like AdSpy, for example, somebody has this product like kind of in like the top 50 ads every Q4. I mean, just somebody is selling this literally every Q4. So it can definitely win with the right creative, right? So this one can do really freaking well. And we thought we'd bring it back. So give this one a shot if you haven't found a winner yet. Again, with and without a message card. So it's going to offer some versatility. Most of the ones that I've seen scale really well do not have a message card, but bringing a message card to it can make it a little different, right? So it might be a way to stand out kind of in the newsfeed. So anyway, give that one a shot. Next, I want to make sure all of you caught this. We are bringing back the 100, 100, 100 challenge. So for those of you that are new and uninitiated, I started this challenge in it may have been 2020. And the whole point of the challenge was it starts 100 days before Christmas. And the idea is that you publish one product per day in the run up to Christmas with the chance of making 100. I can't say it because I'm not allowed to anymore, right? The results aren't guaranteed. Your success isn't guaranteed. There's risk involved. Success just doesn't fall out of the sky and land on your plate. It's not, there's no free money around here. It takes skill, effort, time, all that kind of stuff, right? You're going to be risking your own money on ads, and all of you should kind of know that going into it. But the idea was 100 days before Christmas, we get on a plan, we get in a group together, we launch one product a day in the run up for 100 chances to win, right? That was the whole idea, right? To stack the odds in your favor as we move into Q4. So we're bringing it back. So we now have the challenge. If you want to go sign up, go to shineonchallenge.com/100-100-100. I think Brooke put this in the group. Yep, right here. Make sure you go sign up for this. We are going to have an exclusive group for you inside of Pod U. We're going to be going live exclusively for this group. I believe it's like 1 or 2 times a week. We have free assets we're going to be providing to people in this group, like message card designs and things like that. There's going to be training. There's going to be a leaderboard, right, where we're going to track who's actually publishing products, who's actually making sales. So you're going to be able to see all that on a leaderboard. We're starting that very soon. In fact, I think it starts next week. So make sure you go sign up for this. There is a fee. There is a fee because guess what? If you don't pay, you don't care. We found out a long time ago that when we charge for things, people actually value them and they take action. And we want you to take action and we want you to succeed this Q4. So we're charging 100 pennies. It's $1, people. It's $1. It's nothing, right? But there is an entrance fee, right? And that's because we want you to have at least a little bit of skin in the game as we move through this. So it's $1, people. It's $1 for the 100, 100, 100 challenge. 100 days of content, 100 chances to win. Get into a tribe of like-minded people, all trying to achieve the same goal. Come on, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So go check this out. ShineOn.com ShineOnChallenge.com/100, 100, 100. If you're brand new and Q4's here and you're like, I want to take advantage of this opportunity, but you just don't know what to do, this is the challenge for you. This is the challenge for you, to give you a step-by-step plan with the support you need and the community you need to succeed. So go check it out. By the way, if you're not new, you can join this as well. Every single year, yeah, this is true. Every single year, we have top merchants that join this really because they just want to dominate the leaderboard, right? So go ahead and join it. If you're a top merchant, go ahead and join it. Between you and me, though, we're probably going to take you off the leaderboard if you start crushing too much. We want this to be fun and competitive for everybody. All right. Someone says they're going to start saving for those 100 pennies today. Hey, man, if you're really determined, just hit the town. Go to a shopping mall, look around at the ground. You might be able to find 100 pennies in like an afternoon. All right. Jode, I think it's Jode. Is it Jod or Jode Roebuck? Says it's my first live. Super excited. Yeah, just wait till we get to the toast. You haven't even lived yet. All right. Looking forward to this. Got my seat reserved. Yeah, that's what's up. Very good. Very cool. Okay. I got to tell you, I'm really excited to have this back. I also think we're going to be doing it this Mother's Day as well. I don't want to commit Tammy to anything yet. But this is something that's going to be kind of a regular occurrence in the community. So you're going to want to take part in these. They're a ton of fun. Has anybody participated in one of these before? Let me know in the chat if you participated in one that we've done in the past. Because I don't think we did it last year, but the year before that, I'm pretty sure we did. I know we've done a handful of these over the years. This is just going to be a staple from now on. Has anybody participated in these in the past? Stephanie, I don't know if you were kind of around the last time we did it. I'm sure you were. Arthur has participated in one in the past. What do you think, Arthur? Drop a comment. I'm probably not going to wait for you to do it because I'm going to try to keep the show on the road here, but I'd love to see your comment see your feedback in the comments on what you thought of the challenge. Okay. I think it's time to move on from this. Let's see what's next. So I got another announcement I want to make here real quickly. So I'm going to go full screen for this. So I don't quite have the details yet, but they're coming. We're doing another Q4 sales contest. So we'll have all the details here soon, but basically we're going to award you based on the sales milestones that you hit. The awards are going to start, I believe, at 100 sales. So don't quote me on this. You'll see all this in the actual material that we put out, but it's like at 100 sales, 500 sales, 1,000 sales, 2,500 sales, 5,000 sales, 10,000 sales, 25,000 sales, 50,000 sales, 100,000 sales, 200 and 300,000. Now these are units, right? Units or orders rather, something like that. And if you hit one of those milestones, you're going to get a trophy. Now you're only going to get one trophy for all of Q4. We're going to give you the highest trophy that you're eligible for. They're a doozy. I'll tell you that. The team had a lot of fun with these. There is the award, and then there's the cash prize equivalent. It's interesting what we've come up with. There may or may not be live animals in the trophy contest. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to have more info for you on that. I want to say next week. I don't think it's going to be ready next week, but just know it's coming. It's around the corner. It's something that makes ShineOn a lot of fun. Okay, let's pull this back up. Next, do me a favor. Look, Shopify is doing this freaking thing where they're deleting reviews. It's crazy. And they're doing it across the board. So like every app in the App Store is losing hundreds and thousands of reviews. It really hurts us because, we're competing with Printify and Printful. And I'm not kidding, they probably have 10 times as many users as we do. So we work so hard to get these reviews, and then they just all got blasted. So anyway, do me a favor. If you have not left us a review yet, we would sincerely appreciate your review on our app in the App Store. Look, one day we'll be able to afford a Super Bowl commercial, But until then, we kind of rely on the kindness of people like you spreading the word. So if you could pop over to apps.shopify.com/review, /ShineOn, and just scroll down to the write a review button, click that, and then leave us a review. I got to tell you, we would sincerely appreciate it. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. If you just pop over to the Shopify App Store and you type ShineOn, or you plug it into the URL. The URL is being shared right here. Go over to the app, scroll all the way down to this write a review button. It's almost invisible, right? Because it's got like a white background. Just pop that. Please do me a favor. Leave us an honest review. Leave us an honest review. I'm not going to tell you what kind of review to leave us, but an honest review would be very much appreciated. It helps us in the algorithm, helps us compete with those around us, gives us like kind of higher rankings, and we just really appreciate that. Okay, let's see. I think that's it for the announcements. I feel like I'm missing something. Arthur's coming back here and says it was one of the best programs he's entered, the 100, 100, 100 challenge, and it was worth well more than $1. Yeah, thanks so much, Arthur. Thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, if all we did was one live stream, it was probably worth $1. And we're going to do live streams for the entire period. I think we do 1 to 2 a week. Message cards. It's an incredible value. It's going to be a ton of fun. And really, it's because we're trying to help you succeed this Q4. That's ultimately what we want, right? We want you to succeed this Q4. Make your first sale if you haven't. Hit a new sales milestone. If you've been around for a while, we want to help you do that. So very cool. All right. Are you guys ready for this? You want me to bring Nate out? I want to see the jewelry emoji, the gym emoji. I think that's it in the chat right now. If you're ready for me to bring Nate out, gym emoji in the chat right now. If you're ready for me to bring Nate out, gym emoji right now. If you're ready to bring Nate out, I'm always like 30 seconds behind. So here we go. There's a gym emoji. There's some muscles. We'll take some muscles. Pups. Brenda. Come on, where are they at? There they go. Grammy's trying to find it, but can't. Where's my gym emoji? I want Nate to come out. All right, Stephanie. Carbone. There we go. Galena. All right. We'll take that one. Hey, that counts. We'll take it. You passed. Nat, Julian. All right, Nate, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to rock and roll here. Can you hear me, Nate? All right, here comes Nate. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Not too bad.
All right. Hey, we're going to get into it. Thanks for coming on.
Sure.
Before we do, we got to hit the digital marketer's toast. So, Nate, what are you drinking?
I have a chocolate glazed donut Keurig flavor.
Holy crap. That's fancy. Chocolate glazed donut. Is that like a Dunkin' Donuts pod?
I can't remember the brand, but we go through them pretty quickly over here.
Is it actually like kind of sweet tasting?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Do you put cream in it or anything, like flavored cream?
Just a tiny bit. No, just regular cream.
Is it like, does it have a lot of sugar in it? Sorry, I'm intrigued now.
I don't think so. I think we just like all the flavors and stuff. And I've just kind of stuck with this one for a while now.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm pretty plain Jane over here. I drink mine black. All right, let's do it. Look, if this is your first time in Coffee with ShineOn, get ready to live. I'd be remiss if I didn't warn you about what you're going to participate in here. So look, when people drink of the toast, sometimes they experience odd sensations they've never felt before. Usually it's in the form of tinglies. Almost every time we do a toast, somebody gets some tingles from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. Some people report getting sales on their Shopify store. So if you have your notifications turned on, Shopify or Etsy, get ready because you might get some sales. CPMs fall. Zuckerberg, I'm telling you, Zuckerberg, he wakes up, he's angry, his fingers hovering over the restrict from advertising button on a bunch of people. And then we do the toast, and it's like, a butterfly flies across his window overlooking the ocean in Hawaii. And he has this change of heart, right? And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to ban people today. Instead, I'm going to go kite surfing or, some pretentious hobby that only rich people have, right? That's what happens. That is the magic of the toast. So without further ado, raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks. Join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Cheers, everybody. That's how you kick a Friday off. Right there. Right there. It's the dopamine hit that rings around the world. I joke every time we do one of these, we still have yet to have anybody in Antarctica join us. We have covered every continent on the planet except Antarctica. We've had a couple merchants volunteer to go to Antarctica to do. Oh, dude, this is going to be our number one prize for the Q4 trophy contest. We'll send someone to Antarctica to participate in the Digital Marketer's Toast. If you guys think that's a cool idea, I want to see coffee emojis in the chat right now. Coffee emojis in the chat right now. If you think the number one prize for the most sales for our Q4 trophy contest should be to send somebody to Antarctica, all expenses paid, so they can participate in the toast. Tell me that wouldn't be epic. That would be epic. That would be so cool. Let's see it. Look, I think they think it's a good idea. Let me ask you, would you, if you're our number one seller for Q4, would you go to Antarctica or would you take the cash prize?
I don't know. That's a pretty big if right there.
Yeah. You don't want to go to Antarctica?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Didn't you just have a kiddo?
Yeah. Actually 5 months to today. Yeah.
Well, hey man, some international travel with the kiddo.
Yeah. I don't
think
know
about it. Make some memories. You'll never get this time back, dude.
I know. We'll see.
All right, Nate. What's up, man? Happy to have you on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Dude, no, thank you for taking time out of your day and spending it with us. We really appreciate it. So, Nate, let's I interviewed Nate 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, something like that. And we got a little bit into your backstory then, how you kind of got here. And I would encourage anybody at the end of this, if you enjoyed today's interview, make sure you go back and watch the other one with Nate. He dropped a lot of value in that one. And that's part of the reason we're having him back on today. But Nate, for those that maybe missed some of your origin story, can we just kind of recap that quickly? Like, tell us who you are, how you got into print on demand, how you got into ShineOn in particular, and kind of how we got here today.
Yeah, sure. So I basically started learning drop shipping in 2017 to 2018. And that was just kind of like when the rise of YouTube videos started coming on, courses. So, I mean, I just kind of went full in, probably too much. Like I told in the last interview, we were dead broke, nothing, like you couldn't put $10 in the truck for gas, just kind of that level. But I just stuck with it, made it work. And that's almost like 7 years ago. So I've been doing it for a long time. But I just kind of was drop shipping from that time until about 2021, 22. And then I just wanted to make things simpler for my life and stop shipping from China. And that's kind of where I found ShineOn. And it was just like, I couldn't believe the margins. I couldn't believe the products and just shipping from Florida. That's where I just kind of that was my first introduction to ShineOn. I kind of was messing around with it here and there. And then just basically about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I'm like, okay, I should probably just stick with this. It just makes your life really easy, and you guys have a great team to make it easy. And that's just kind of where I've just been right there. So
was how much of your decision was motivated by like tariffs and those kinds of changes? The end of the de minimis exemption?
Yeah, a little for sure. I think you just in the overall picture of like who I am, I don't really care to like hold inventory or buy inventory or take those kind of risks. Like I just personally, I like just to have minimal risk for everything I do. I've just always kind of been that way. So just even
Smart.
that was an added bonus of just like, okay, it's just perfect. Like ShineOn's just perfect for this. So it's just
That's
one.
awesome. And how long have you been selling with ShineOn?
This is like pretty much my first consistent full year, but I started, I think even with Etsy in like 2022, maybe the later end of it, before I got banned from there because of the app problem.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. Uh, all of us got blasted. Um, yeah, very cool. So, when was your first Shine on sale?
I think it was Etsy in around
Was
2022.
Etsy?
Yeah, I just kind of, I did Etsy, the same thing when I was learning drop shipping. And then I just kind of figured that was a great way to test it and just print on demand. And Etsy is, awesome.
And,
So I just started there.
and remind me, does your wife help you with this?
She does a little. She actually is a graphic designer and she has her own business on Etsy, more in like the wedding niche of like templates, right, for weddings and birthdays and stuff. But
Oh,
she's
that's right. I remember that now.
yeah. So I mean, we bounce ideas off, but it's mostly she kind of has that, and then she helps with the little stuff with the design work and whatever when she can. But mostly she just stays on there, just in her space.
That's awesome.
But we just did it together. We just did it together, just trying to find our paths. We're different. She's a creative, and I'm more of like an analytical person. So it's just
Well, yin and yang. I mean, maybe you guys balance each other out.
sometimes bring into some
Yeah,
headlines.
yeah. Sometimes it's friction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So how did you find the transition from drop shipping into like Shine-On's print on demand stuff? Was it difficult to make the jump?
Not really, because basically when you drop ship from China, even at scale, it was a nightmare. Like the problems I had just were bad quality products. I don't know how many times I had a bad quality product, even when I thought it would look decent or whatever. It was just bad. Shipping times are awful. People complained, from China. And then kind of around, if you were in Facebook ads around, 2020 ish, they rolled out the feedback score, and that
Yeah.
basically just killed my operations, just because if you were like out of 1 to 5, I think under 2, they would just shut your page down. And then they eventually ended up banning my Facebook profile itself. So just, yeah, the transition to ShineOn has been awesome, just because you guys have fast shipping, Florida. It's hard to compete with that, and especially at scale, it's just hard to compete with that.
Dude, look, I'm the CEO of the company. I'm admittedly very, very biased. But like, I just it's it's hard to overstate the incredible opportunity that I feel like Shine On gives people. It's like I really do believe that like this is the best time in the history of the world to be an entrepreneur. Like never before have you had the opportunities and the reach that like we have now with the internet and like companies like Shine On. I mean, you literally get to take an idea that's just in your head. You get to use free software like Canva, put it on a product that you've never seen before, sell that product to people that you've never met, and then you don't have to ship it, you don't have to pack it, you don't have to do any of that stuff. And it's like it's magic. It's like it's magic. It shouldn't exist, and it does. It's just, to me, it's just when you really step back and look at it, it's like it's a miracle, dude. It's a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically why I came to ShineOn. Print on demand is for my personality too. Like I said, you can just crank out products, right? And there's if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You didn't have to buy, even like if you're just talking shirts, you didn't have to buy 1,000 shirts of something that could go horribly wrong. And then, this design didn't work, on to the next. And I think that's just, like you said, it's the opportunities there, and it's kind of always been there. And especially now, back when I started, it was, you had to buy $1,000 course. There was no free content, really.
Yeah.
And that was tough for like when I was starting out. But now, I mean, people have full courses on YouTube. I know ShineOn has courses. I mean, it's the time is now. It's great. It's honestly wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and then also, the product, like especially the jewelry stuff in particular. And we have a lot of items in our catalog, which are great for upsells, downsells, post purchase, and then like cross-selling downstream for like repeat purchases later, like after you've acquired a customer. We've got a bunch of stuff in the catalog that's great for that. But the jewelry is a hero product and the margins are incredible. I mean, it's like 3 to 5x margins. It's insane.
Yeah, and then I don't, like I said, I haven't seen anyone that can compete with that. It's hard. It's a no-brainer almost.
We're just so spoiled. But anyway, okay, I digress. Okay. So you made the transition from drop shipping into print on demand. Let's go back to like the early days when you were kind of figuring ShineOn out. Now I know you brought a lot of experience to the table, right? So like you aren't going through exactly what newbies go through, right? But you're still there's still a bit of a learning curve because you have to figure out like the designs and the phrases and kind of like what works and what resonates with the niche. And you have to figure out like how to build a brand that wasn't going to scare people away. I mean, can you get into some of that?
Yeah. So that's why I started with ShineOn on Etsy, just because I knew that, if you could just pump out products right on Etsy, 1 or 2 will be found. Even if you don't run that crazy of ad budget on Etsy, you can start testing right there. And that's what I did. I didn't even open a Shopify store or anything. I just threw designs, phrases, even the necklaces. I was testing necklaces, right? And then even low budget, I think when you first sign up for Etsy, I think they cap you at like even $5 a day, right? For a while. And then you just kind of see what the market takes of your designs and your message cards and everything. And then you can just start collecting these little data points, right? So I probably had, to start probably 100 designs, and maybe like 5 or 10 were working. And so I said, okay,
all on Etsy.
Yeah, this was all Etsy. So then you can just kind of look at those data points of like, okay, is it the design? Is it like the background color? Is it the font, right? And you just kind of expand on those and trying to find that sweet point of what's going to make the customer buy. And you just kind of roll off that. You don't have to go 0 to 100 crazy, but just a little data here and there. I'm sure a lot of people have had, even if you had one sale, okay, well, now you can analyze that. Was it the message? Let's expand on the color. You can just kind of get your data set from a few sales even. And that's what I did.
And what have you learned about like the type of phrases, for example, that work?
The phrases really, if you look, a lot of recycled, but I think mostly it's just, if you can kind of just make it like almost like a 20 to 30 second, in my opinion, 20 to 30 seconds of someone speaking the phrase, that kind of is what is like the sweet spot, I would say. And it's just maybe a little rhyming here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same.
So I was doing this like really comprehensive phrase analysis, and I will be releasing it in the form of a lead magnet here to the community soon. And I basically looked at every top selling phrase we've had going back to 2020. So thousands of phrases, and literally it's like the top 20 to 30 phrases are responsible for like 80% of the revenue. And I think this probably exists in all of print on demand.
Yeah.
And they're just recycled over and over again. And when I release this lead magnet, everybody's going to go, oh, well, crap. I mean, this is the conclusion. You're going to go, well, I knew about this phrase. Like everyone's going to have that reaction because it's the stuff that you've read over and over again so many times that you're numb to it that's still driving most of the sales. Yeah. So it was pretty revealing. So what you said that, you had Etsy up, you had like 100 products, you were looking at the 10 that worked and you noticed kind of the commonalities and the patterns, right? Can you share some of those? Like what are some things that you kind of saw repeatedly that tend to work kind of over and over?
Well, for me, it was just the more simple designs, to be honest. I think we can get confused sometimes and overwhelmed with like, oh, I need graphics and I need crazy backgrounds or florals or whatever. And what kind of just worked for me, it was just simple stuff. And it was, again, those phrases, right, that really sold to the customer. And I think even today when I see things, I'm like, okay, I think this is either this design's ugly or crazy, but for the most part, I swear people are really, it's what that message brings to your heart, and I think that is what really sells. So it's just, I kind of just saw like, okay, maybe let's do less of the design work and more about trying to find the right phrase, the right emotional touch point, right, for the person. So that's kind of what I found just to be a common thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. If they feel anything, they're going to be more likely to buy.
I always say if they cry, they buy, like you said. I just try to put that in my head, right? And that's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Yeah. It's just one of those fundamentals that, when you get into this, you start to forget, but it drives the whole business, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. So you had Etsy, and then at some point you made the shift over to Shopify. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was actually scaling pretty well for Etsy at the time, and then they rolled out that change, right, to knock off the drop shippers or whatever. And then I basically just took my winning products from Etsy and then just try to figure out how to market them for Shopify, and then that's just kind of where I've been. But it started with Etsy, and that's where I found my winners at that time, 2023-ish, and then I just did my marketing thing and content thing and just kind of went from there.
I wonder how many people quit when that happened, and you kind of stuck with it.
Yeah,
And
it was definitely frustrating for sure because that's like Etsy it was awesome, like, right, like people trust Etsy. That's a perfect Etsy product, and I'm still like in shock that they took it down. It's crazy, but the one thing I've learned with ecom is there's always hiccups. There's always problems. I've had so many, but you just have to pivot. Okay, this is the situation. This is what it is. We'll have to figure it out. And
that's just being an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
you just solve one problem after another until you die. That's the whole,
Yeah.
it's the whole bit. Yeah. The thing that kills me is that there's still tons of message card jewelry on Etsy.
Oh yeah. I know.
Just,
it makes no sense. And then, yeah.
yeah, it's tough. So you move over to Shopify and you're starting to figure it out with paid stuff. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I almost test every video or every content that's made for my brand. Even at we can go into this later, just for even people that are just starting out with Facebook ads and stuff. You don't have to spend crazy amounts of money to test. Like, I still don't. You could have, basically one piece of content or one ad that you made or whatever, and you can put $5 behind it and get data. Like, it's not.
Would you be comfortable telling us about your campaign setup?
Yeah, I figured we would do that today. So
yeah, here, I'm going to draw it so everyone gets kind of a visual here. So let's see here. What do you guys see? There we go. All right. So what does this look like? So you have the campaign at the top level, right?
Yeah, we'll just start out simple because I think
Sure.
like, again, the topic of us scaling, right? Like, this is how I've scaled many times, and even my first time I ever scaled, this was kind of the same method, right?
Can we talk about your testing strategy first?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because you were saying that you test with low budgets, and
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of newbies here, and their ears are they perked up when you said that. So how do you test with a low budget?
Okay, so let's just say you have one ad you made, right? So you would start with the campaign, and I would just do like an ABO or just like a regular ad set, not CBO.
Okay.
So just ABO, simple.
Just one ad set?
Just one ad set, right? And you can, depending on, let's just say it's to the daughter, right?
Okay.
So then you could I just do USA because that's the majority of people that will be buying. So you can collect data a little better. And then, so you can sometimes I leave the age range, just leave it open for Facebook, or for like daughter, if you really want to narrow down, probably 25 to 65 plus.
Yeah. And for everybody listening that's missing this, you're selling to the parent, not the daughter, right? That's why you're targeting people that potentially have a daughter. That's why you're looking at 25 to upwards of 65. Do you do any other targeting?
No, I basically let Facebook do its thing. As I just leave everything open. I don't do interests. I just kind of let it. The algorithm's gotten so good. You can basically just let it run, right?
Okay.
And then that ABO would just be $5. Let's say $5.
Okay, $5 a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you would just have your one ad.
Just one ad. So this is one product. This is your setup.
Yeah.
And how long do you let this run?
Basically one day. Like, you can kind of see the data, for at least for me, I'm pretty quick to to judge. So like, I'll give you some metrics that I would cut it or leave it.
You let this run for a day?
Yeah, I mean, it's only $5, right? So
No, I just can't believe you only let it run for a day.
oh no, I'm saying if there's criteria, if it goes well, then I'll leave it, keep it going. If not, I'll
Yeah,
cut.
okay. What's your criteria?
Okay, so if you let it run for the full $5, if the click's over $3, I'll cut it.
Okay. So CPC over $3.
Yeah, and then that's basically like, if you just pretty much stuck with that, that's fine, because from what I've noticed, like you're not gonna
So simple.
yeah, you're not gonna, if something's taking over $3 a click, it's probably not a winning ad or not even a decent ad, right? So
Dude, you're a freaking animal. All right. So what about determining if it's like a winner?
well, okay, so basically you got to think of your margin. Say we're doing like ShineOn jewelry, right? I mean, if you're selling something for $50, you're probably can let it spend maybe to $30 without a sale, right? So I'm kind of looking for at least a break even sale, if that makes sense.
Okay. Something like that.
Yeah, and then based on, so say that $5 spends and your cost per click's like $1.50, then I'll let it run again for another day and kind of see what the data says on the 2 days, and then I'll let it run again. And then say you have a purchase, okay, well, maybe your purchase is like $15 per purchase. Okay, that's great. Then I'll just double that $5 to $10.
Yeah. So you're doing, sorry. So you scale if you get one purchase.
Kind of under that break even limit, if that makes sense.
Yep. If you get one purchase for break even, then you scale by doubling the budget.
Yeah, and I'll just leave it. So say you're at $10 now, I'll just leave it going, and you'll watch the data, right? And then if it's still the cost per click's over 3, then you cut it. And then basically you're looking for sales at $10 to be still break even, right?
Well, no, it would be
After a couple days spent. So say
so hang on, let's make sure I got this right. So let's say you're selling the item for $50, right?
right.
And your base cost is 10. So you have $40 of margin. So you're trying to make one sale for $40 or less.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if you can make a sale for $40 or less, you scale it.
I'll double it from 5 to 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, so if one purchase for $40 or less, then 2x ad spend. And I assume this is like a rinse and repeat kind of thing.
Yeah, and then if you can kind of get consistent sales, say at $10 a day, that you start to notice like a week goes by, then that's when I move to the next phase of I'll take that ad and throw it into a CBO ad.
So if consistent,
yeah, if you can get consistent sales, say at $10 a day, and you're still making money, then I'll throw it into a CBO.
and this is for scaling, which we're going to get to.
Yeah, and when you're done, yeah, because
this is all Facebook.
Yeah, so the methodology to me is, okay, you start at $5 a day load testing. You're not taking huge risks, and a lot of people don't even really have that much money to test with if you're just starting out. I know how that goes, because when I was first starting, $5 a day for me was like my heart was pounding, right? So it's just an easy way to kind of get your foot in the game. So you're basically letting Facebook take a low budget and see if it can kind of get you a sale, right? And if you can, then that's a good sign. So basically,
Absolutely.
so you want to basically, so you're at $10 a day now and you're still getting sales. That's when I move it to the CBO, because when you start to scale, your CBO, that ad in the CBO should be a winner, or the CBO will tell you if it's scalable or not. That's the point.
So real quick, before we get too deep in the CBO, let's talk about this ad here. Is this image or video?
It could be either or. I've done both, and It's up to you, really, I guess. It's
So
just
for testing, what do you normally make videos for testing?
I do, yeah, more videos for testing for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
So prefers video. Can you tell us what the video is? Like, what's it look like? What kind of video do you make?
I have a few just kind of different styles, but really it's just kind of like I talked about in the last interview. It's like trying to find like everything's psychology with ecom, right? So when you got to think of people scrolling and your first 3 seconds of your hook of the video need to really grab attention. And then I don't know, like again, I've seen so many different things work, but I would say that's like your number one step is first 3 seconds. And then you could basically open up your product and then read the message card. I mean, it really could be that simple, right? Just because again, from my experience, it's the message that really sells. So
and do you shoot your own video of the box opening and the message card?
yes.
And do you just read it out loud, or do you use
I have AI read it sometimes. Sometimes I've tested just myself reading it too. It's hit or miss.
What tool do you use to read it?
It's 11labs.io, I think.
Yeah, I know 11 Labs. It's 11 Labs. Okay. Dude, this is great, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome, dude. You're dropping a ton of value here.
Yeah, I think I mean, I still kind of use this method just because it's what I've kind of figured out that works, I guess, almost for this niche, right, of a product where you can do these low budget tests just to kind of see like where your ad stands, right? And then, like I said, okay, when you move it to the CBO, you'll probably do it at $50 a day, a little higher budget, right?
Yeah, let's start talking about that. So
Yeah.
this is testing. Now we're going to get into scaling. And so here, I'm just going to copy that over just to make this easy. Okay. So this is, hopefully everybody can see this. I'm trying to make it big. So this is a CBO campaign.
Yes.
And how much did you say?
Just start at $50 a day.
Okay, 50 a day. So the only products that make it to this, just so everybody listens, are those that are maintaining consistent sales at $10 a day ad spend.
Right. And
so you're basically getting one sale every 4 days.
Yeah, and if it's a good ad, you'll see that it might be 2 or 3, right? Just the idea behind that is that you're taking a higher, relative setup of $5 a day, and now you've kind of picked your winner, or Facebook's giving you some data on this might be a winner, and then you move it to the CBO because that will determine if it's truly a winner that you can scale or it's not, and that gets you to the next step closer to scale.
Yes. Okay, cool. So $50 a day, CBO. Anything else at the campaign level?
It's the same as what you're testing. So it'd be the exact same one as the ad set and then the same ad.
And then the ad set is because you're no longer using ABO.
Right.
It's CBO now. So do you do any changes to the targeting on the ad set?
Nope, you just leave it the same.
All right, so maybe I shouldn't have totally deleted all that. Okay. Here, so daughter, USA, all that looks good.
Yep, the same.
Checks out. All right, tell us about the ads.
So it would just be that one ad you pulled over from the ABO testing.
So, okay, when you do this, are you going to the ad level and then moving or duplicating the ad, or are you like kind of starting from scratch and creating the campaign, then the ad set, and then like the ad from scratch as well?
No, you would it's almost like you're just like, so like you would copy that Facebook ad ID, right? And put
it. You're doing the ad ID.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's the
Okay,
same
got
ad,
it.
the same exact ad. You just moved it.
Okay.
Almost duplicated it into the new CBO.
Well, so it's like sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm tracking. You create the CBO, create the ad set. Then when you get to the ad, you go grab the ad ID.
Yep.
And you just paste it in, and that's how you make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're basically taking your potential scaling ad And if CBO at $50 a day can prove, again, worthy of making sales, and then it's kind of the same. Like you would just use that one CBO and you can double the budget, double it again. And then you just kind of find that breaking point, right? That maybe at $200 a day, it's kind of break even or make a little money. But again, it depends on your ad, because you can go from $50 a day to 100. And sometimes when I'm scaling, 5,000, right? It depends on the ad. But the whole point of the CBO is to determine from Facebook how successful that ad can be. So like I have, for example, some CBOs, they can't go over $200 just because they'll lose money or whatever, but I can keep them on at $100 and they'll consistently make money, if that makes sense.
So, yeah. It totally does. So you create this. It's the same ad ID from testing. Do you ever like just add more ads in here, or is it always like one campaign, one ad set, one ad?
I do, and that's where you're testing your other ABOs. So say you have another daughter ad that's doing really well, then I'll put it into that CBO.
Okay, so but it's got to be the same product, I take it.
It's the same product niche. I guess I separate.
Just the same niche.
Same niche, yeah. Sorry. So you would have like.
Okay, so I'm tracking. So this campaign is for the niche.
Right. So your To My Daughter niche campaign right here.
And do you throw them under the same ad set or just the same campaign?
It would just be for the CBO or the ABO? The
CBO.
Yeah. So it's the same ad set. You just put the new ad in there.
Okay, got it. So here's I'm going to have to help some people are going to get lost. So this is like daughter niche.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like here. Right. All right. So here's what Nate's doing. Nate has a CBO campaign. Then he has one ad set in the CBO campaign for the daughter niche. And then anytime he is going through his testing process over here and he has a daughter product that works, he moves that ad into this CBO campaign. So this CBO campaign in this daughter ad set could potentially have 4 or 5 different ads underneath it.
Right.
And it could be 4 or 5 different products, right? But they're all in the daughter niche. That's what they have in common.
Right.
Right. Okay. I'm tracking with you on that. So here's a question. What if you have like the wife niche going on at the same time? Is that in a different campaign?
That's a different CBO. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's one niche per CBO campaign, right? But then it's all successful daughter tests. Change that to niche for now. Niche tests live in this ad set.
Yeah, and then you'll just have your winning ads all in the same.
Yeah. So, whoops. So it's like winning ads only. Dude, this is pretty cool. It's crazy how many ways there are up the mountain here.
Yeah, it helps me just because there's so many niches, right, for these products. It's like you can kind of get all over the place. But just kind of what I was saying is like the ABO testing, the $5 is like it's almost like you have to look at it like it's your little army guys, right? Like these are your just ads of little army guys. And then you kind of figure out, which ones perform the best. And then that's when you move them to the bigger side. Right. So it's just kind of how I've viewed, what's worked best for me, I guess.
I think this is super, super clever. The way you're doing this. So
yeah, that way too, you're not spending $100 a day on one product that might not work. Like basically all my winners, I've done the same kind of process where I don't need to I can spend $20 and say, okay, here's some data, right? I didn't spend 200 or whatever. You should be able to collect that pretty quickly, even after $15 spend or whatever.
Yeah, this is awesome, dude. It's super low budget.
Yeah.
It's really not that difficult. I'm sure that there are people listening to this right now and they're like, what in the hell are these guys talking about? Just just you rewatch it, go slow. CBO stands for campaign budget optimization. Ad sets, ABO stands for ad set budget optimization. It's really about how Facebook allocates your ad spend. And it just gives you, it's two different mechanisms of control over your ad spend. Go Google that. Like there's tons of material on it. It's not that hard to understand. CBO versus ABO. Read one article, you'll totally get that. Dude, this is not that difficult. So what I'm curious about now, though, is on the creative side. So when you're scaling, and let's say you have one product working for you, like, do you just sit there and start testing a bunch of creatives on that product to see if you have any other creatives that will pop off that you can move into your CBO campaign to like increase your purchases? Or like, how do you think about that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And then the reason why I start an ABO instead of just throwing everything into a CBO is because you'll find, so Facebook with CBO campaigns, they want to push what they, in their mind, is the best ad. So say you could have 5 or 10 ads in a CBO, but it'll spend 95% of the money on one. So you're kind of missing the sales.
You're not getting good tests.
Yeah, you're not seeing the, like some of these other ads that could get sales because it's still allocating to what Facebook thinks is the best. So I'll throw, so for like, say I have a daughter in the CBO working, I'll still throw more into this ABO testing of the same, just so I can get the data on maybe there's something else that I can.
Does it go in this same campaign, or do you make a new campaign for that?
It depends on maybe the product, I guess.
So if it's the same product, you might be.
Oh no, sorry. It would be a different ad set and then one ad. Sorry.
In the same campaign, but a different ad set?
Yeah, it's the same campaign, different ad sets. So you could have like a row of 10 ad sets because that'd be 10 ads.
Because it's all the same product.
Yeah.
Or is it the same niche on the testing?
Sorry, same niche. Sorry, same.
Yeah. Niche. So just so everybody's tracking, basically the methodology Nate's using here, where like here he's using one niche per CBO. And so this entire CBO will be dedicated to daughter. And then the ads, each of the ads would be corresponding to like a daughter product, right?
Right.
Over here, you kind of using the same methodology, only it's at the ad set level. Yeah. Because that's where the budget is. So you have like a daughter campaign, and then any new daughter product you test goes inside the same ABO campaign.
Right. So you would just, duplicate the ad set, and then so you could have 10 ad sets, and then there'd be 10 ads because each one gets its own $5 spend.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
I know it sounds complicated, but
it's really not. It's just
when you just kind of think about it, I guess.
Yeah, I really don't think it is that complicated. This is pretty simple. It's basically like this, right? These are all your new tests. New ads. I'm sorry. Is it new ad sets or new ads for the new tests?
It's new ad sets and new ads. So so you're enabling Facebook to spend $5 on each ad you make to collect the data.
Okay, so it is new ad sets.
Yeah.
Yep. Easy peasy.
Yeah, you'll just have an army of ad sets with the ads in them.
Yeah, and each ad has got its own.
Yeah.
Something like that. So this is like it's really over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really right here. And then the campaign just keeps collecting data.
Yeah, and then you like I said, you move the promising ads to the CBO, and then let Facebook do its thing, and then you'll get more data too if you have to cut it or double the budget or whatever,
Yeah. So and your niche really is at this level, one niche.
Yeah.
Because if you test a different niche, you'll make a different campaign.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So look, there's some people are going to be reading this and you're going to get it. You're going to go, I get it. Some of you are going to be on here and you're like, this might be too difficult for me. Maybe I should quit. Right? Don't quit. I'm telling you, this is actually not that difficult. This isn't that difficult. It just seems that way because it's probably a little abstract for you right now. But once you start creating ads, I'm telling you, this is going to click pretty easy. Everything we're talking about here is going to make a lot of sense. So this basically allows you to test products for essentially $5.
Right.
Now, I have a question for you real quick. So your account is probably decently seasoned, like your ad account. Like you've collected a lot of data, you've spent a lot of money. Is this how you, like if you were starting all the way over, new business manager, new ad account, and you were testing, is this how you would do it?
For sure. I think that's
Same
even
way.
better too for you, because I think Facebook hates when people open up new ad accounts and go 0 to 100, right? Like if you just, this is basically warming it up, and I still just do this, so.
Excellent. This was this is pretty cool. What questions you guys have in the comments? Think of some questions and let's drop them in. We'll pull them up.
Yeah. So I just want to expand on it just one more time.
Sure, no problem.
Well, for like the ABO, right? So you might notice your ad gets sales at $10 a day, but the moment you put it into the CBO, it doesn't work at even $50 a day. What that's telling you is basically it's not a scalable ad, right? So you figured that out. But what I do is if that's still running $10 a day and making you money, just leave it. It's almost like Facebook says, okay, at $10 a day, we can get you sales. That's the type of ad it is. And you can make a little money there. And I still have some that I just leave on that I can't scale, but they'll still bring in a few sales. So, it's even just a benefit, I think, that way too.
Yep, that makes a ton of sense. And by the way, like obviously you're profitable by leaving it in the test campaign. So you'll make, a couple bucks per sale depending on, how it's doing, but also like you're collecting data. That's super important. Is like the more sales you can get, even at break even, sometimes the better, because it's going to season your account, and it's going to help the Facebook algorithm optimize for your ideal buyer. So like those break even sales are not always bad.
Oh no, if you can even lose a little, and not a lot, but if you can lose a little, then that's a lot of data to collect too when you're making sales, but still not profitable.
Yeah, this is that classic reframe where it's like you're not losing money, you're buying data.
Right.
And like data has a value to it. And like you need to get that through your mind if you're going to be in the Facebook game.
And right? This is such a low testing too way. I think it just, for a lot of people starting out, I think you can't really beat this kind of method. I don't know.
Dude, I love this. I seriously, like, this is it's clever. I haven't quite seen a setup like this yet. But there's just so many ways up the mountain. Like,
yeah,
it's just,
I've tried a lot of things, but I think again, it depends on your products and your niche. And I know, like one of my buddies does supplements, and he couldn't do it this way, right? He has to do a different kind of campaign structure. But just from what I've seen in the kind of niche we're in, I think this is what I've come back to again. I don't know.
So once you have something over here and it's really working for you, do you just constantly test new creatives to keep feeding the algorithm something new and to keep like?
Yeah, you do, but you'll still find the problems of like, the CBO will still spend the majority of your money on the one that's going to work the best. So it's like kind of like waiting for that to maybe have ad fatigue before you turn it off. But really, some of these creatives, and just because in the niche we are, like, gift giving, some of these you can run for 6 months, 1 year, even some more. You might have to scale down the budget, but I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah, I guess that's an important detail. You just slide this budget around accordingly, huh?
Yeah,
it's doing great. You bump it up.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what if you could get sales at $50 a day, bump it up to 100. If you're still profitable, bump it up to 200, and you just kind of do that progression. And
if it stops being profitable, you just take it down.
Yeah, you can lower it down, and then if it doesn't work, then you turn it off. And like I said, I've gotten some of these campaigns to over 10,000 spend sometimes, just doing this method of trying to find the best ad.
Do you ever run two of these side by side in an effort to like get Facebook to spend more money profitably?
You mean like two CBOs of like the daughter niche, or?
Yeah, like just duplicate. Like once you have it loaded up with some winning ads, just freaking duping it and seeing how it does.
Oh, I used to do that, but I feel like nowadays it's just like you just have the one and let that go, because I used to do that where you would duplicate the CBOs, but I feel like that's out the window now. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just come back.
I know, because I don't know why I like want to hack stuff.
Yeah.
I'd try to dupe like 100 of these and then only keep the best performing ones on.
Yeah, I used to do that where you would duplicate like the ad set in the CBO 5 or 10 times, but from what I've seen and just kind of seen how people are scaling,
it's not
now,
working.
It's almost like Facebook's gotten so well at like just making it the more simple you are, the better. And I also think for like your mindset too, it just focuses on what really matters, and it's the ad, right? If you have a good ad, it will scale. It will scale, and you only need the one CBO, one ad set. Like it's gotten that easy.
Yeah. I will say, I think you're onto something. Like Facebook's objective is to make it so that like the plumber that like can barely send an email can turn an ad on and it works.
Yeah.
So like they don't want that. I mean, they're not probably going out of their way to make it so the hacking methods don't work, but they're optimizing the entire system towards the simple stuff working. And I think probably what we're seeing is like they're just getting better at that.
Yeah, which I swear people don't even do interest anymore. They just
they
just run
creative does it.
18 to 65 men and women for like every product, every niche. They just let Facebook do its thing.
Okay, so with it doesn't sound like you really go crazy with creatives.
Well, I mean, I think you just kind of your focus really is just finding the one that'll work, and that for a lot of people, if you can just find one, that can ride you for a lot of money. It might be 5,000 in revenue, 10,000, $1 million, whatever, but it's kind of more like the focus of just picking the one product, the one ad, and then just kind of making sure you can find something that's scalable, and then go back to making new ads.
So let me ask you then, how do you look at just making more money? So let's say you find a winner this Q4 and you're scaling the winner up, right? And you hit some kind of ceiling with your method here. Like, what do you do to make more money?
Well, then you would just need to find a different ad that can take that budget.
So you just start testing new creative.
Yeah, you just start creating more ads, and
so basically you ride a creative till you hit a ceiling.
Pretty much.
Then you start testing new creatives.
Yeah. So like right now, I'll take some of the winners from the ABO and I'll just keep throwing them into the new CBO and see if it can take some of that ad spend and make some sales.
So ride winners until ceiling hit, and then test new creatives.
Yeah.
Got it. What else? Are we missing anything?
No, I think it might seem like a lot, but really it's as simple as can be with Facebook ads, like one campaign, one ad set, one ad, $5 a day, and you collect the data. I think that's pretty.
Dude, I hope everybody listening realizes how valuable this is. Like this is stuff people pay for coaching time for. People pay to consume this in a course. You're basically just giving us the goods for free.
Yeah, this is the first product I ever scaled was this method because I had no money. It was like I just had to do something like that, and then I just kind of figured like it still works today, so why not?
I hope everybody understands the value you're dropping here. It's incredible. It's incredible. All right, we're going to get to some Q&A here, and then I think maybe we'll move to wrap it up unless you have any other bombs you want to drop on us. No. So first, this person says, I don't understand any of the lingo. So a couple things. We're talking about Facebook ads. Inside of Facebook, you have something called a business manager and ad accounts. This is where you run all of your ads, basically. When we talk about campaigns or ad sets, you can almost think of those like folders, right? And inside of those folders are your ads, right? The acronyms you're hearing, CBO stands for campaign budget optimization. So this is like the top level folder. ABO stands for ad set budget optimization. This would be like the folder in the middle, and then ads would belong in the folder at the very bottom. So you think about it kind of in a nested fashion. We're talking about budgets because with CBOs, you set the budget at the campaign level. With ABOs or ad set budget optimization, you set the campaign at the ad set level. Creatives are just different ads. So you have image ads, you have video ads. UGC stands for user generated content. We talked about CPC, which stands for cost per click. So that's what you pay for somebody to click on the ad. We talked about CPP, which stands for cost per purchase. That's what you pay per purchase, right? If you have an ad that's working. We talked about interest targeting. So at the ad set level inside of Facebook, you can define interest that Facebook will use for its targeting. What I'd encourage you to do, listen to this. Anytime you get stuck, just go to ChatGPT and ask it what the lingo means. ChatGPT is going to be able to help you out pretty easy, but don't let the fact you don't understand the lingo scare you away. Look, it's skills that pay the bills. The more you learn, the more you earn, right? Like, don't be afraid of this. These are the problems you need to solve to go from your current level of success to the level of success you want to reach, right? These are the things you need to learn to bridge that gap. So don't shy away from this. Lean into it. Lean into it. I encourage you.
Can I just add one more point? Like,
absolutely.
Really, it's a quick YouTube search away how to run a Facebook ad, and you can have it down in a day. It's really, I think YouTube should be your learning machine, right? It's like, just type in Facebook or YouTube, how to run a Facebook ad. There's free content galore and you'll have it in 10 minutes.
Yes, 1,000% on that. 1,000%. All right, let's get to some other questions here. Here's one. When you move over the ad set to start with $5 a day or the money amount, I can't make heads or tails of that. Sorry, Gilda. Try again on the question and we'll try to answer. Do you have any pattern for successful image ads for testing? Do you go with simple mock-ups or add some extra text or something else?
And really, I just kind of stick with the ShineOn mockups, to be honest. Like, you can kind of move it around in Canva to maybe bring it closer or anything. But I've tested, I've seen a lot of people, she cried reading this or whatever. And kind of, I found that just leaving it blank works better for me, at least. But yeah, nothing crazy. You can even, ShineOn has great mockups, and you just maybe zoom it in a little, zoom it out, depending on, where the text is on the card and everything, but that's pretty simple.
Do you have any mock-ups that are your favorite for testing?
There's a few. I think the Alluring Beauty has some good close-up ones with the cardboard box and also the luxury box. It's just more about like getting it to where someone can read it right away.
Basically, you just want it really big.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. How about for new ad account with a new pixel? For sure, would it be high CPMs? Is $5 enough for testing with super high CPMs? And what's your fix if CPMs are high?
From my experience right now, I mean, you can have $5 a day and have CPMs of under 10, easy. Anything kind of over 15 CPM, it's okay. But again, is it getting clicks? Is it getting sales? And anything over 20, I pretty much cut.
The issue is when you have a new ad account now, the CPMs are juiced. They're super high.
I mean, I don't know, just because I haven't had to deal with that for a while. But
no, they're I've seen $25.
Yeah.
Like, they're really high in the beginning. Unfortunately, you kind of have to pay to play in the beginning until Facebook knows they can trust you and that you're going to pay on time and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you get charged for it.
Maybe that $5 testing is better. I mean, I don't know if you could blow through $50 quickly, but I think the chances of you finding a better winning ad at $5 a day with high CPMs is better, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty true that in the beginning it's very hard now. Well, shouldn't say it's very hard. You kind of got to be aware of that until Facebook can trust you and you've had a couple purchases and customers were happy and Facebook knows that they can trust sending traffic from their platform to your site.
Yeah, it's just part of the business, really. Yeah. We all go through it.
Absolutely. All right. How about for new ad account with a new pick? Wait, did we just do that one? We just did that one. What about Advantage Plus enhancements for the ads? Do you leave them on or off?
I usually turn everything off, to be honest.
Old school.
Yeah, when I test music, even with like still images, I feel like it can really skew the data, like on how someone might perceive something, right? So if they can cry from a message card without music, then I think I'm onto something better than testing. You could test so many different musics, and
Yeah.
it could just. I try to keep
Too
it
much.
simple. Yeah.
Yep. Keep the variables.
Yeah.
Keep fewer variables in the beginning. Yeah. I assume you turn off the test ad set and the original ad set. So basically, like if this ad wins, do you turn off the ad set it was in when you move it to scale?
I leave it actually.
So
So
you leave it in the scaling
I leave
or
it
the
in the A/B
testing.
testing and the CBO, because
Nice.
what you'll find out is, like, again, you're letting Facebook determine what ad spend per day will this ad perform well. And then you might move that winning ad from your testing to your CBO and find at $50 a day it flops, right? So
Right.
then you're just back to square one, but I just leave it on just so it doesn't. Why turn it off? It's making you money. If you look at your data over the time it's been spending, it's still making money. And kind of that's my methodology of, like, you might get sales for this product at $10 a day and that's about it, but it'll still bring you sales, right? So why turn it off?
Yep. I totally agree with that. It makes a ton of sense. Let's see. Do you only check the CPC in the ABO campaign?
You'll see it in the CBO too. I mean, you'll see as you spend more money if it's really worth keeping or not. So it's kind of the same.
Well, basically, don't let me put words in your mouth, but as soon as you have a purchase, you baseline all your decisions on cost per purchase.
Right.
The CPC is really just to look at before you have a purchase.
Right. And you'll kind of see if you can scale something. You're not, at least from my experience with ShineOn and products, anything still over $3 a click, you're probably not getting sales.
No,
Or
unless
very few.
just remember, if you have a brand new everything and you're being charged a super high CPMs, you're gonna have a high cost per click in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because your CPMs are so high. Unfortunately, this is just a tax you have to pay for a little while until Facebook knows that they can trust you, right? And then those CPMs will slowly come down.
Yeah.
How many creatives do you test per week once you find a winner?
I probably test at least 5 or 10 a day. So, I mean, what is that, like 50?
Once you have a winner?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a winner, you don't know that threshold in a way of the CBO. So you want to back it up. If you've proven that you can scale, even say at $500 a day, then you have a winning product, right? Or something. So why not try to create something that can go even further?
So, okay, this is what I was trying to ask you about earlier. So you try to do 5 or 10 a day?
Yeah.
So 5 or 10 new ones a day? So you're making like 50 to 100 a week?
Yeah. Yes.
Holy crap. How are you doing that at that scale?
I mean, it could be just little things, like it could be the same video, but a different caption or something like that. So technically, maybe not making 50 new pieces of content or ads. It just could be switching up.
Light tweaks?
Yeah, like little tweaks to find something that.
And you're doing all of that in like CapCut or something, like you're not using any of the Advantage Plus enhancements. So you're doing all of that like in CapCut or
yeah, something like that.
Holy cow. I didn't know that it was so intense.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're just going through as many variables as you can to kind of see what resonates, and then that's why I do the low testing budget, because I can rip.
Yeah.
Even at 10 creatives a day, $50. Okay, well, that's not too bad.
Well, and also, I think something to remember, guys, is you do this after you have something that's winning and scaling. So like your money, like your ability to make more money is in testing new creatives once you have something that's scaling.
Right.
So don't get all exacerbated, like, oh my gosh, it's so much. Trust me, like as soon as the money's coming in and you're profitable, you're incentivized to go do this. Like you're gonna have fun while you do this, because you know that doing it is going to help you make more money.
Yeah, but a lot of the times it is still, you just still riding on the one ad. And I always try to tell people this, like it comes down to one product, one ad, and that can make a bunch of money for you. And that might be $1,000 extra in your pocket, which can be huge, right? Or 5,000 or 10,000. It doesn't need 100K or whatever, but it really, if you could just focus on one ad, one product, I mean, that can really help a lot of people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. In your ad creative for headline and primary text, do you generate it with ChatGPT or do you find it in an ad library, or how do you do that?
For the ad creative?
I think he's talking about the headline and primary text for like an image ad.
I mean, I basically just go read some like comments on TikTok or something about a daughter, like type in daughter. I'm sure there's viral videos of someone, you know, having a special moment with their daughter, and kind of see what people are saying. And then you can kind of pick something out of those comments, and then you can test it. Yeah. Like with an image bar or whatever, just kind of like that. But I just try to keep it simple. So I don't even ask ChatGPT. I just, you know, I wanted to bring this up. Like I have a daughter now and a son, and I'm trying to get away almost from like just speed writing message cards or something, and just sit down. Like I know a lot of people have children or your mom or your dad, and write something that might make you cry, right? And then trying to go off of that, because if it can do that for you, then it can do it for someone else.
And so what about the, you know, at the ad level, you have the headline text and you have the actual so we're not even really talking about the ad like the image. We're talking about the text above.
You mean like what they would see right away? Like
like when you're scrolling Facebook, when you see it.
Oh, I usually just keep one line or two.
Like what?
This is a great gift for your mom. I mean, really, I feel like people don't even read it. I mean, it's like, I guess you can test all these things, but from my experience, it's just your ad, really. And surprise your wife with a meaningful gift. There you go. Something like that.
Yeah. I always used to put imagine the look on her face when she opens this.
Yeah. And I again, like obviously I haven't tested it enough, but I just try to focus on the ads. And that's
well, the ad is what does 90% of the heavy lifting, probably more. Let's see. What's the minimum per day budget you'd recommend?
Well, it just depends on how many of those testing ads you're going to do.
Yeah, it sounds like he's $5 for testing and 50 for scaling, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it just depends on how many ads you want to try out.
What's your AOV?
Right now it's about 70-ish.
Very nice.
I'm trying to bump it up.
Hey, let's chat, because I know someone that very consistently gets AOVs over $100. It's just mind blowing. So maybe we'll help you out.
So yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I definitely get some of those bigger orders, but I don't know if it's just some of the niches I'm hitting, like where they're capped at a certain amount of money. The customer.
The way I've seen it work in the past is it really, so first of all, it is kind of seasonal. The closer you get to Christmas, the more urgency and desperate people get for the gifts. And it's about having like really strategic like upsells through the whole funnel. Like having the gift wrap, having rush processing, having shipping protection, like all those things, they really add up. Anyway, we can chat about that. All right. When testing, do you have 5 versions of headlines, primary text? It sounds like you just use the same one. Same headline, same.
Yeah, just to keep it simple and constant. Where
do you lead with any of that? Like 50% off today only is the headline text?
Sometimes I feel like it's hit or miss. I just can't collect the data on if that makes a difference or not.
Yeah, totally. Well, dude, that kind of gets us through all the questions here. This was awesome, man. This was awesome. People may not realize it. You just dropped a ton of freaking value. This is an entire game plan for Q4 right here. Like, it's literally just up to you to go do your research, make the message cards, and then test. Like, literally test with this blueprint.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that's how I scaled my first product in 2018, when I had literally $5 a day testing. Was like, it killed me. So it's just kind of, you wake up and there's some few sales and you say, okay, let's try to move it to the next phase. So
this is great. Guys, when I started, I was testing with $50 a product. $50 a product, and you are testing for sometimes as low as $5, because if that CPC doesn't hit your KPI, you just kill it.
Yeah. And then if you have a winning ad, you'll know.
Oh yeah. This is something else people don't get. That it's the product that drives the success of the campaign, not the ads. Like 1,000%. Like, if you have a shitty product, no amount of like ad kung fu is really going to save it. right? And if you have a great product, almost no amount of ad kung fu will kill it, right? Like you almost can't mess it up. Like this is why the analogy I've always used is like when you really hit a winning product, it's like whale fishing, right? Imagine being on a boat and you have like a rod and a reel in your hand and you catch a whale. Are you going to know you caught a whale? Or are you going to be guessing when you try to reel it in? No, you'll freaking know. You'll know, right? Like when you land a winning product, it takes you for a ride, right? You constantly feel like you're trying to catch up to it, right? And you constantly feel like you're a day behind. Tell me that's not true, right?
You'll know. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel a sense of urgency because when you have a winning product, you're like, I'm leaving money on the table by not testing more creatives, right? Like you constantly feel like you're just trying to catch up to it. So it's exhilarating when you hit one of those. Do you have anything else you'd like to share, or any other tips, or anything you want to drop before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I would just say, Q4 is like a lifetime, another opportunity of a lifetime. And I still have to try to remind myself too, like, this is the time where you should do the work because it's the easiest time to get a sale, right? And then I just would like to say, like, don't compare your Q4 to someone else's. We all start in the same spot, and if it's an extra $500 you made for the Q4 and that's awesome, then that's great, So don't try to compare your Q4 because we all have, our beginning curves, and YouTube is your best friend. Like if the Facebook stuff was complicated, just start watching YouTube videos on how to run Facebook ads and you'll have it in a week if you really are serious. I mean, it's nothing crazy. And but this is the time now you want to start thinking about, changing your life and
we might actually take this session and turn it into like document it somehow and share it with everybody, infographic or a PDF you can download or something. That way you can kind of go off of this. Also, I'm totally going to use that quote. Every Q4 is a new opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that. That's so true.
Yeah, it's the most magical time of the year.
Oh my gosh, it is. I will tell you, I hated Christmas before I found ecom.
Yeah.
And as soon as I went through a couple Christmases with ecom, I'm like, I'm changing my tune, man. When the Christmas carols come on at the store, it's like, put them on repeat. I don't care if I've heard it 1,000 times. Like, this is magical, right? Because people are buying.
And especially the products ShineOn has. I mean, this is what it's made for,
Absolutely.
They're right there.
Well, dude, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate the time and the value you dropped here. For anybody listening, like, now is the time to wake up. If you're serious about the e-com, if you're serious about print on demand and like building your own kind of like business on the side or whatever your goals are, now is the time to freaking wake up. Like we are literally 15 days away from the start of Q4, and you have no idea. Like seriously, it's almost impossible to overstate the size of the opportunity as we move into this last part of the year. It's incredible when every single person that is in a family or in a relationship, when every single person in America is starting to think about buying gifts, it's mind-blowing how big that market is. It's mind-blowing, right? And there's enough for everybody. It's not like there's a pie and everybody's getting a slice of the pie and it's zero sum, right? And the pie gets smaller. No, we're all baking pies together here, right? And the more people out there selling the jewelry, the more we're waking people up going like, hey, this is the greeting card paired with the jewelry is the perfect gift. This Q4, the more we can create those kinds of trends, right? The bigger the pie gets for all of us, right? The real competition here is somebody going to Target or Walmart, right? And not buying their gift online. So I'm telling you, this is the most magical time of the year. Get in the game, use this ad methodology that Nate just laid out for us. We'll try to put it into easy to follow lead magnet for you. This is the time to freaking rise up and shine, people. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Do you have anything else you want to share?
I think I covered it mostly. It's just like, this e-com game it's not easy, but it's really, it's like you said, it's the opportunity is there, and it might take you 6 months or a year, but once you kind of get your grasp on it, I mean, your life can change. And the only people I see that can do that is they just don't quit after 6 months or a year. And they just, that's what they do. They figure it out. And I believe everyone can do it. Everyone, no matter what age you are or what your situation. And I just wish you the best, because I know it can really change your life, change your family's life. And, I just wish people would see that opportunity.
I love it, man. I love it. We'll end it there. Will you come back on this Q4?
Sure, why not?
Awesome.
if everyone wants me on, sure, why not?
Awesome, dude. Let's do it. Nate, thanks so much. Really appreciate you. Everybody else, stay tuned in the group. We'll try to put this into some kind of thing you can download. All right, everybody. Take care. Happy selling. Hope to see you on the leaderboard this Q4. Take care.
Thanks.